Today on ELN Morning.
Going to Greensboro. U.S. President Joe Biden is on his way to the Triad, where he's speaking in why ahead.
Bigger bills. Inflation has people paying more at downtown ELN restaurants, and it's only getting more expensive.
And pollen problem. It's peak season for pollen, but it may be harming your car in ways you wouldn't think.
Today, April 14th, 2022.
This is ELN Morning. Thursday morning, everyone, and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Naomi Washington, in today for Ashlyn Delowy.
And I'm Anne-Marie Bonner, in today for Baylor Rodman, and you're watching ELN Morning.
U.S. President Joe Biden is heading to Greensboro this morning, and his visit today marks the first of the Triad since he took office.
Our Margaret Faust joins us live from North Carolina A&T University, where he's set to speak this afternoon.
Margaret, what can you tell us?
A&T, where President Biden is supposed to address the audience at 2 p.m. today. He is here to talk about his Building a Better America plan, which is dealing with his partisan infrastructure bill. He wants to address and improve high-speed internet, safe roads and bridges, clean drinking water, reliable and affordable electricity, and better paying jobs. He's here to address what, where, and how local governments can apply for this federal funding. President Biden's approval rates are down right now. According to a poll conducted at High Point University, only 35% of North Carolinians approve of him overall. Only 26% of voters approve of him and how he's handling the economy, and only 19% of North Carolinians approve of how he is dealing with inflation. The Labor Department published a report earlier this week which showed that inflation has risen 8.5% in the last year, and inflation is the highest it's been since 1981. I talked to local businesses in downtown ELN to see how inflation is affecting them. Take a look.
Coffee with vanilla, please.
The Oak House customers are paying about 20% more for coffee now than they did before spring break. ELN senior Grace Contino noticed right away when her regular coffee order got more expensive.
My first emotion was confused, but second emotion was kind of just like, well, this is just how it is, kind of just acceptance. I still like to come here to study, socialize with friends.
Owner Phil Smith says he is paying higher utility bills and spending more on ingredients and supplies like cups and sleeves. He wants to continue to pay his workers well. He says raising prices was the only way to do this without losing the atmosphere of the coffee shop.
All the hospitality industry for a reason. The last thing you want to do is say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to take a little bit of your money for providing this service or this product, this hospitality. It's kind of counterintuitive to offering what we offer, and yet it's also necessary.
Every drink at the Oak House is more expensive now, but a few doors down at Pandora's Pies, only one item has gotten more expensive.
Pandora's has upped the price of one of its most expensive items, chicken wings. About a week ago, 8 wings cost about $14, but today, these wings cost me $17.
Really?
That's what ELN sophomore Josh Contino said when I told him what his chicken wings would cost.
It's a little concerningly high for not that much food.
But Contino says the price hike won't stop him from ordering the wings again, which seems fitting. He ate every last one. Margaret Faust, ELN Morning.
Root and Tangent haven't increased their prices in over a year. Margaret Faust filed from Greensboro this morning. Thank you so much.
We'll have updates from Biden's visit today on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, and our social media pages at ELN News Network.
Residence Life is still not responding to ENN's numerous requests for comment this morning. This comes after students and parents expressed frustration about the housing selection process for next year. Freshman Olivia Giggy says signing up for housing was confusing. She says the selection process lacked transparency. Giggy says Residence Life failed to answer her questions after she called 5 times and visited the office twice.
I feel disregarded, as does I think a lot of the freshman student body, and it's frustrating to feel such a love for a place and also feel disregarded at the same time. It's difficult.
Beaton has a freshman at Elon and says she feels like the university didn't listen to the students.
Hoping that they listen to what happened this year and they kind of try to find a different way to make it work a little better so the students don't have a full week of stress about where they're going to live next year. It's a huge part of their college experience. If they're really unhappy where they're living, it can affect everything.
The Residence Life website says students who do not have housing can call their office at the number on your screen. They hope to place students who call within a week of their request.
Coming up, the 3-day weekend means students are going home, what they can expect when ELN Morning returns in 60 seconds.
Coming up in your Phoenix 5-day forecast, I'll have what you can expect and more as we hop into this holiday weekend.
What do we do? You may not be able to plan ahead for a ghost encounter.
Under the dining table now!
But you can plan ahead for natural disasters. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts.
Maybe it's the apocalypse.
Know your evacuation routes and decide on a safe emergency meeting location.
Here? I know. I want to pick Orlando.
Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. So pass the Proton Pack to the next generation and visit ready.gov/plan to get started.
I'm Chris Jakomick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakomick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention cites an increase in COVID-19 cases. President Biden just extended the travel mask mandate by an additional 15 days. Freshman Izzy Jacobs is flying home to Philadelphia for the Easter holiday and says she would still wear a mask if the travel mandate was lifted.
I think it makes sense to have masks on an airplane because people are coming and going from and to different places, so you don't know where they're coming from and who they're around, and you also don't know who they're going to take it to, possibly.
The mandate applies to all people that are traveling by public transportation, airplane, or rideshare services through May 3rd.
The date of Easter hops around each year, but the Friday before Easter Sunday is always known as Good Friday, and Christians believe it's one of the most sacred days of the year. Elon Sophomore and Catholic Campus Ministry President Megan Green organized multiple events for this year's Holy Week festivities, including tomorrow and Sunday's services. Green says she'll be spending the holiday in reflection and prayer.
And it's sort of a solemn day, we just remember, but it is called Good Friday in the sense that we're able to rejoice in the fact that we know that Christ conquered death.
Green says the services and events this week are open to anyone. The full list of services can be found on the Catholic Campus Ministry website.
Passover is a major Jewish holiday that celebrates the Hebrews' liberation from slavery in Egypt. This year it coincides with Easter, and it begins tomorrow night at sundown. This year's Seder, a traditional meal, is dedicated to the people of Ukraine. Elon sophomore Samantha Resnick is in charge of Elon Hillel's Passover festivities and says she's excited to celebrate with family and friends this weekend.
And community for me. I know being away from home is really hard for some people during the Jewish holidays, so being here for the Seder and having the sense of community, friends and family being here is really special to me.
Passover lasts 8 days and 8 nights. The Elon community is celebrating Passover this year on Saturday, the second night, at 5:30 p.m. at the Elon Community Church. Students can register for the Passover Seder on the Elon Hillel website.
All right, well, joining us live under the Oaks for a look at the weather heading into our long weekend is our Brett Turnbull.
Brett, good morning to you.
Good morning, Anne Marie and Naomi. It's currently beautiful out here under the oaks with the sun just starting to find its place in the sky above me. Looking at the weather right now, I don't expect these niceties to last for too long though, as we have scattered thunderstorms coming away this afternoon and a dramatic drop in temperatures coming along with it. As for your Phoenix 5-day forecast, temperatures are starting to cool down this week as we have warmer days on both Friday and Saturday in the low 70s, but then that spring weather begins to hide from us and we experience temperatures in the low to mid 60s Sunday through Tuesday. There's to be expected rainfall coming. We're going live now.
Brett Turnbull live under the oaks this morning with the Phoenix 5-day forecast.
We'll see you in 60 seconds when ELN Morning returns.
Meet Norm. He lives with anxiety, but with the help of this latest innovation from Be Normal, he can be normal, just like everyone else. With the swipe of a finger, you can project happiness, confidence, machismo. Why settle for being real when you can be normal? The Normal Maker, new from Be Normal. This item doesn't really work because there's no such thing as normal. We're all different. What we like, how our brains work. In fact, 1 in 5 of us live with mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Start by talking to someone you trust. And remember, there is no normal.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
ELN students are making a different kind of donation, and it may help save the lives of others. The Gift of Life is an organization on ELN's campus that saves lives with a swab. Last night, they partnered with the Black Student Union to encourage students of color to join the bone marrow registry. The partnership is because there's a lack of diversity on the registry. ELN freshman Madison Williams says the club's presentation made her realize it is an important cause to be a part of.
African Americans really get matches, and they're like the least amount of group that do. I, as an African American, was like, oh, then let me swab to see if I can help someone.
It is not too late to get swabbed and added to the bone marrow registry. For more details, email ELN's Gift of Life Club President at ecats11@elon.edu.
Pollen levels peak during April and May, and while it may bother those with seasonal allergies, it also bothers cars. I spoke with a local car wash who is helping Burlington residents do some spring cleaning. When pollen falls from trees and plants, cars become prey to the powder. District Manager of Autobell Car Wash, Nico Scarfo, says the Burlington location is seeing repeat customers because of the pollen buildup.
If you leave it on there, it can definitely stain the finish of the vehicle, damage the clear coat. So you want to wash your car pretty frequently and add polishes and things like that that will help bring out the finish of that clear coat.
Scarfo normally recommends people get 2 car washes per month, but during pollen season, he says they should do it at least twice a week. He says keeping the interior of the car clean is more important than the outside.
With the allergies and everything going on, once it gets into that interior and gets down in those vents, it can become problematic for those systems.
Gibsonville resident Curtis Vance normally gets his car washed once a month. Now that it's pollen season, he goes more often to protect his car's paint job.
I like to keep the car looking good for, trade-in value or just to look good and make myself feel better.
Scarfo says he wants ELN students to join the unlimited car wash program so he can have more repeat customers. Well, if we don't get some rain soon, I'm definitely going to have to go back and get my car washed again.
Me too. My car is covered in pollen, and it is affecting my my allergies real bad. So
I know, and it was really interesting when I talked to the car shop owner. Like, it was interesting to see that pollen is actually, it can erode the paint on your car. Like, that was just something I had no idea about.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, and I know it's worse down here than it is back home for me. So definitely not great. I can't breathe when I step outside.
Yeah. Well, that's all the news we have for you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Keep up with us this weekend on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
And on social media at ELN News Network.
Be sure to join us next week for another edition of ELN Morning.
Enjoy your long weekend, ELN.